Good morning. Welcome, dear learner. I am Dr Abhimanyu Kumar, Department of English, Barhiya. Today we will discuss another ism group, that is Expressionism. Aestheticism, symbolism, ecofeminism, realism, cubism, then Expressionism. Now I will define the concept of Expressionism, ideology, thought, etc. Expressionism is a 20th century movement, dear learner. At that time, Norway and France were fighting. A new type of ism group generated in the history of English literature, that is Expressionism. French writer Defalco and Russian writer Tolstoy. Tolstoy wrote Crime and Punishment. The focal point, the central point of Expressionism is individual is not accepted. Collective is accepted. This is difference between cubism, aestheticism, realism, symbolism. And the most significant point about that is this: Expressionism rejected all ism group and accepted the theory of individual. It is not important, the theory of collective is important. That is the germ of Expressionism. Despite this, in the 21st century movement, the modern writer and postmodern writer broken all the barrier of poetry, fiction, painting, literature, because it is a digital revolution. In digital revolution, orientation came, alienation came, humanism came. Now I will explain this term. Humanism means glorification of man. Orientation means digitization, communication. This is the point. This is the point you understand about Expressionism. Now, the Expressionists believe that this is a world of chaos, dream, hodgepodge, uncertainty. That is concept of alienation in American literature. Particularly, I focus you on Henry Miller. His Tropic of Cancer was immediately banned in almost all English-speaking countries of the world. When it was published in 1935, it talks about sexual explicit. Now I will read some few lines of Tropic of Cancer by Henry Miller. I have no money, no resources, still I am alive in this world. This book, Tropic of Cancer, is not a book, it is a Bible, a gob of spit in the face of art, a prolonged history. Consider the powerful power of his experience. Despite this, in spite of all these things, when 21st century movement came, the English literature, the English language became Commonwealth literature. It is not the literature of marginalized and Dalit people of this world, but it became capitalist language, Commonwealth language. That is imperialism, without knowing consequences. As you know, Anglo-Saxon literature and 14th century Chaucer literature was dark ages, no motion, no flight. Everything is right. That was concept, belief. God is in the heaven and everything is right on this earth. There is no motion, no movement. But what happens? It was under the grip of Roman Catholic Church The tyrannical, despotic, fascist power of England was sitting. Martin Luther could not understand the despotic power, and he started movement against Roman Catholic Church from Italy. And new church came, that was Protestant church in the 20th century. That was the Renaissance, golden age in history of English literature. That was the age of Shakespeare. And Shakespeare succeeded due to Protestant church. That was generous and liberal church, given all freedom, economical, social, political, and writers succeeded. Chaucer was not less learned than Shakespeare. But due to the tyranny of Roman Catholic Church, he could not succeed. That is dystopia world. But the centurion Anglo-Saxon literature was dystopia world. Dystopia impact on British literature. Bible said that the expressionism theory was belief in day of judgment. Let me explain the term day of judgment. Day of judgment means you perform our duty and then you remember God. But when you could not perform our duty and could not remember God, then God will punish you. God would punish you on the basis of day of judgment. But when we perform our duty and could not remember God, then you are exempted. So day of judgment beliefs means your duty. Your duty is identification. It elevates man. Your every action is duty. You perform our duty. That is day of judgment. That is the Bible concept of Old Testament. This expressionism rejected cubism, wealth on wealth. Cubism is a period of wealth. Romanticism is 19th century movement, and expressionism is 20th century movement. Just opposite of aestheticism. Aesthetic movement creates art for art's sake. To create beauty, romance, entertainment, not values, ideology, not to create values, ideology. People were tired from religion, faith of reason and inquiry. That is why, and this is how movement came, aestheticism, to create romance, beauty, entertainment in literature, painting, art, etc. But expressionism rejected all the ism group, refused to accept, only accept collective acceptance, not individual acceptance. And the English language became the language of capitalists, not marginalized people or Dalit people of the society, of the world. Now, you know, Leo Tolstoy, having a rich English potentiality, imagination, sensibility, vision, thought, imagination. Similarly, the case with French writer de Marlowe, having secondary vision. What is difference between primary vision and secondary vision? Let me explain the term. Primary vision, that has everybody. You wake up in the morning, prepared for a school and colleges or universities to go to attend classes. As a student, as a rickshaw puller, a common people, marginalized, Dalit people on the road, he also does primary things. But secondary vision is rare. That is absolutely be found in scientists, writer, and philosopher. Rare in politicians who frame policy, domestic or foreign policy. Rare in politicians. This is difference. The primary people and secondary vision and primary vision. I hope you understand my thought, my lecture. Listening carefully. Secondary imagination is digital religion. The secondary vision creates a new thought. How a thought can be great? Now understand this point. When personal thought becomes universal, touches the worldly lives, personal individual to become universal, touches the worldly life, it seems to be happen to everybody. That is greatness of thought. That is greatness of writer or anybody else. What is the difference between philosopher and writer? A philosopher may versify his ideas, but he remains philosopher. But a writer can convert his ideas into feeling. That is the concept of metamorphosis, transmutation. No teaching, no philosophy can convert, only they inspire. Dear learner, I would like to speak some foreign words. For instance, Italian, motito. Chinese phrase is Nawaz negativity. In India it is said pejorative thing. French word is sanguine, that is blood. Red rose. Blood definition, blood is become red. That is in metaphor, in figure of speech, is alliteration. R sound is repeating. Red rose. R sound is repeating. That is alliteration, the figure of speech. So I hope that you understand my point, dear learner. Welcome to back the Expressionism theory, definition, concept which I have defined, elaborated as a 20th century movement. It's ideology, not a movement. Believe in collective acceptance, not individual acceptance. That is the amazing point of this expressionism. I hope that you understand my point, my vision, my thought, my sensibility, receive your mind, and about to conclude, nullifying. Dear learner, you read more and try to understand ism group in the history of English literature, in British literature, from Anglo-Saxon to 20th century. You must read more. Then you will understand the movement, the ideology, difference between movement and ideology. Is expressionism a movement or ideology? Can you say? No. It's not a movement, it's an ideology based on values, based on doctrine, principle of this expressionism. About to conclude. Have a nice day. Long live the tolerance. Long live the comma. Long live ignorance. Now I have stopped my lecture at that point. Okay, with good wishes. Thank you, all of you.